Welcome to the Wackcast, a satirical look at today's modern society. Today's episode is called Go Fund Me, Go Fuck Yourself. But before we get started, let's have a word from our sponsor, Tito's Taco Truck. Does this sound like a taco commercial to you? No, primo. It sounds like a commercial with white guys. Not the ones that are like accountants and attorneys, vato. But the ones with snowboards and the guys that drink the Mountain Dew. Tambien? At Tito's Taco Truck, we like those extreme sports. I guarantee that if you eat one of our tacos, you will skateboard, rollerblade, or even do parkour to get to the nearest bathroom. Eat at Tito's Taco Truck located at 8th and Midkiff in downtown. If we ain't there, we probably got shut down by the health department or something. Tito, he's at it again, folks. I believe he moved his location again. I think it's something about Homeland Security or something. It was kind of hard to hear him with all those sirens going on in the background. Have you guys ever wanted to avoid the county landfill fees and have done a late night drop off at a Goodwill collection point, driving away feeling like you were a member of SEAL Team 6 and you just took out Bin Laden and you're escaping Pakistan, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, ha ha ha, good luck with that cracked particle board entertainment center, dude. Today's episode is about charity. First of all, every non-profit organization mentioned in this podcast actually exists. Have you ever been sitting at a traffic light and seen a white guy holding a sign that says, "Come on, man, spread some cheese on this cracker"? Most folks, they open up their hearts and their wallets to these modern day street comedians. I usually don't give them money, but when I do, I always make sure to see if somebody there has a camera so I can post it, put it on Facebook. I want to go viral, folks. I would like to see my video being titled Faith and Humanity Restored. If you're really paying attention, you will realize that we can only restore faith and humanity with viral social media posts. Charity. Charity is defined as the voluntary giving of help, typically in the form of money, to those in need. There are many sources and ways that we can do charitable acts, such as soup kitchens, fundraisers like GoFundMe, homeless shelters, and even some strip clubs have resorted to giving lap dances for toys. I've been to one of those events, and some of those ladies, they have big hearts and big breasts, folks. Some of them have big hearts and big booties, just not the breasts. But let's not forget about the daytime B squad. A lot of them have big hearts and cellulite, or gunshot wounds. It just depends on what part of the town the strip club is in. If you're feeling charitable and you don't know who to give your money to or what to do to rake in the dollars for your charity, you can always hire a charity consultant, just like the stars in Hollywood do. At $65 an hour, they will aid you in choosing the hippest, most cool organization that will provide you with more bang for your buck. Gentlemen, you can feel like George Clooney by donating to the Global Nuclear Proliferation Group, which is aimed at helping the smaller nations of this world get their own nuclear weapons to compete with the big dogs of this world. Make sure you properly vet your charity consultant, though, prior to hiring them. If the guy is Middle Eastern, you could find yourself on an FBI watch list because you may have inadvertently donated to ISIS. Stay clear of the ones that claim that sex sells too, folks. You would never want to see a bunch of naked old housewives running around trying to sell baked goods. If you think that Nuke nonprofit was crazy, I searched the internet far and wide and found some notable nonprofit organizations. Olympic Dodgeball Fund. There's an organization that's aimed at getting dodgeball into the Olympics. Honestly, personally, I would like to speak to the Olympic Committee about adding additional gym class games to the Olympics. Let me tell you, folks, I could fuck up China and Foursquare and bring the gold home to the USA, folks. And then There's also groups for disabled. There's a welfare group, Disabled and Sexuality. That's the name of it. I know it's a weird name, but it's a Swedish organization, so that's how it's translated. It's a non-profit that arranges erotic massages for people in wheelchairs. I heard they put restrictions on the massages, though. After a man that was paralyzed from the waist down, he cost the charity $25,000 because it took him 4 hours to reach a climax. Ladies, that's just a hint for you. If you want your man to last longer, just go get yourself a guy in a wheelchair. And then, finally, there is a charity that's called Bras, Panties, and Underwear for Charity. It's a non-profit organization that auctions off celebrities' undergarments in the name of charity. It makes you wonder if some chubby chaser out there has bought Rebel Wilson's big old drawers. Folks, those charities we just talked about, those are guys, they're small potatoes compared to the big guys, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Salvation Army, and the Goodwill. When I think of October, I think of titties, folks. You guys caught me in a lie. I think of titties every month of the year. November, titties. December, titty. 4th of July, titties. That's right, folks. I'm a guy. I love boobies. No need to wait for October. I think about them 365. Every October, everyone slaps on a pink in honor of breast cancer. One day I was ready to take my son to school, and he came in wearing a pink shirt. I asked him, why was he wearing a pink shirt? He told me, we're wearing them at school for breast cancer awareness. I asked him, I said, do you know what breast cancer is? He said, yes. Yes, and I said, good. Now go take that shirt off and dress like a boy. The Susan G. Komen Foundation, they are the kiss of charities, folks. They slap their name on shirts, mugs, stationery, pink ribbons. They should follow the band's Kiss example. They should slap their name on a coffin. Believe it or not, their charity is very highly scrutinized by the media and charity watchdog groups, all right, due to their foundation's ethics. Believe it or not, only 20% of the money is actually spent on breast cancer research. The rest is spent on marketing and the CEO's $600,000 salary. The foundation, they go after other charities in court, and there's plenty of documents out there that show that they do, public documents, that go after these small charities because they're using the term for a cure. For a cure. The next time you see a bunch of old fat ladies wearing pink walking together for a cure, stop them. Make sure they're wearing legitimate Susan G. Komen clothing. Not that counterfeit shit that you can get at the flea market, folks. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so we're moving on, folks. Let's get into the militant charities out there. I'm not talking about militias full of rednecks playing army in the woods. I'm talking about the Salvation Army, the complete opposite of the Susan Komen Foundation. Take those numbers that they have and reverse them. 82% of your donation goes directly to the people in need. The Salvation Army operates many homeless centers and women's shelters across America. They even have rehab centers for alcoholics and people that are addicted to drugs. Believe it or not, the Salvation Army was not started in America. It was started in England in 1865 by a minister named William Booth. He'd walk the streets preaching to the homeless people. Eventually, he had people helping him take care of the people in need. Pretty soon, his organization spread throughout the world. The Salvation Army is even credited with making donuts popular in America. During World War I, the Salvation Army nurses fed donuts to the troops in the field because it was cheap, quick, and easy. You know what? I'd rather be credited for making donuts popular than tater tot casserole. Fuck that shit. I wonder if the Salvation Army branch from San Francisco in the future is going to be credited with making kale popular. Everybody knows the Red Kettle Christmas campaign that makes the Salvation Army famous. Well, that was started in San Francisco in 1891 when a captain set up a crab pot and began collecting money for the poor at Christmas time. When I was a kid, I used to nervously walk up to Santa that was ringing the bell outside of Walmart, and I'd tell him what I wanted for Christmas. I never got what I wanted for Christmas, though. I believe it probably because that wasn't the proper forum to tell Santa what I wanted. Maybe he should have just went to the mall, sat on his knee. It was either that or my parents were bums. I think they were bums. But enough about my horrible childhood memories. Let's just talk about people down on their luck. We have to ask ourselves, where do we go when our lights been turned off due to not paying the electric bill for the past 3 months? Or where do we go when we have failed to save the monies for emergencies? Or what do we do when we need money to get some condoms because we can't afford to pay child support to another lady? The answer is simple, folks. We use crowdfunding like GoFundMe. According to their website, GoFundMe is an American for-profit, hence for-profit, crowdfunding platform that allows people to raise money from life events such as celebrations and graduations to challenging circumstances like accidents and illnesses. Remember, folks, as soon as someone posts a Good Samaritan Faith in Humanity restored video, you can guarantee that a GoFundMe page has automatically been set up by an anonymous donor. I'm going to teach my kids a lesson about investing. The next time that I find out that a mosque has been vandalized after a terrorist attack, I'm going to force my kids to donate their savings to the mosque and film it. The next thing you know, someone behind the scenes will have set up a GoFundMe page and boom, folks. No second mortgage on my house because their college will have been paid for. Kind of like that kid in Pflugerville that took his Pflugerville, Texas. He took his $20 iPad savings and donated to the mosque after the terrorist attack in Paris. Next thing you know, he gets an iPad on behalf of the Muslim community. If I was his parents, I would be highly suspect of a package in the mail that's coming from the Muslim community. Alright, so GoFundMe, they claim that they have a trust and safety team that works around the clock to ensure your safety and protect people against fraud. But they're not perfect. So here's some of the campaigns they let slip through the cracks. Here's one. Help me throw money at these strippers. You know what? Somebody should tell that guy that you don't need dollar bills to throw at strippers to have a good time at the strip club. One time, my friends, they wanted to go to the strip club, and I was broke. So I took my spare change to the Coinstar, got the receipt, got a lap dance, but she cringed when I handed her the Coinstar redemption receipt. I told her, I said, "Relax, baby, it's as good as money," as I was being thrown out by the bouncers. Then there's one guy right here, he has, "Going bald, I need more money for hella hats." Which is the same principle as a homeless guy holding the sign reading, "My wife and kids were kidnapped by the boogeyman. Need money for a closet door." You know, that's clever, so people will give him money. But here's my favorite. "I need a car to bring you this dick." Maybe he raised $0. Maybe he might be a little bit more successful if he changed the name to "I'm on the bus to bring you this dick." Now that Hurricane Dorian has hit the East Coast, you can start to expect to see a lot of GoFundMe pages being set up. Speaking of Hurricane Dorian, did you know that the Fox News guys that were there filming, they caught a baby that was flying through the air? I got a clip of it. Right now, I'm going to play it for you. Hi, this is Chuck Buck, Fox News, Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm standing outside some oceanfront homes here in Charlotte. Hurricane Dorian is currently expected to make it here any time now. If you will notice, some of the people in the background behind me are trying to evacuate. At Fox News, we want to encourage everyone in Charlotte to seek shelter immediately. Folks at home, if you pay attention back there, there's a lady right there. If you look, she's trying to cross the flooded street while carrying a baby. This is how desperate the residents are trying to flee the path of the hurricane. If you hold on one second, folks, it seems like the wind's starting to pick up. the way the wind zipped that baby past my head, it looked like Tom Brady threw a dart into the end zone. I'm going to sign out and check on that kid. This is Chuck Buck with Fox News Charlotte. Pretty crazy stuff going on down there in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's crazy. Kids flying through the air, breaking car windows. All right. On a closing note, I want to let you know, if you pay taxes, you're already donating to charities. The government donates a lot of money to charities. I heard a lot of senators, they love to take part in that Toys for Tits campaign. That's it, folks. Good night.